Welcome to Glowing Success. My name is Heidi and I am your host. This podcast is for beauty entrepreneurs. Join me weekly as we dive into the beauty industry's ins and outs, from business strategies, top-selling services, and taboo topics. I will be interviewing industry leaders with empowering stories and game-changing insights. Let's illuminate your path to success together. Let's jump into this next episode. Welcome back to Glowing Success. Today, I want to talk to you guys about, I want you to listen to this if you are thinking about closing your business. So the things that I suggest in this episode, I think will save your business. So, number one, narrow your niche. So I find that a lot of times when people are thinking about closing their businesses, they aren't narrowing their niche enough. They're kind of marketing to a broad world, so to speak. So really fine tune who your niche market is. Who is your ideal client that you want to attract in? What specific services? So you can maybe offer 2 services, maybe 3 services that are very specific. Ideally, you'd want to offer 1 or 2 that you're really an expert at, because then you can narrow in on those clients. So if you're kind of all over the board right now, that might be your problem. That might be something that you need to think about, is narrowing your niche down, or niche, sometimes people call this. I find that this helps with marketing. It also just helps with you. You can be an expert in this and talk about that and talk to that, right? So if you're narrowing it down, you're going to have a better time with that. Also, are you diversifying your marketing plan? So I also find that when people are about to close their shop, they're only marketing in 1 or 2 ways, and generally those are usually on social media or online somehow. So I find that diversifying your marketing plan really helps a lot, because then it grabs people's attention many different ways. So I always suggest, if people are only marketing online, of course, try to market in person as much as you can. So that can mean like going to networking events. I always tell people, look on Eventbrite, look on Facebook groups or events, and see if there's any networking events in your area. Now, some of those can be very business specific, and that's great. So if they're attracting business owners, then I would definitely go to those. If they're just attracting general people, that's okay too. But just know that sometimes, talking about your business can be a little bit more difficult in those settings. So you do kind of want to look for things that are business focused if you can. But networking in person is always going to help, because you just never know where you're going to meet people, right? You never know. The other thing is marketing in person different ways. So like maybe dropping a flyer off at community boards. So like the coffee shop boards that you see, or, sometimes libraries, but really think about your niche in this. So what does your ideal client like to do on their free time? Maybe they work out at a certain place. Maybe see if that place you can market there. See if you can drop a flyer off. See if you can do a pop-up event, have a table there. So we're always trying to think about who your ideal client is. And the reason I want you to niche down is because we have to think of the mindset and like where your clients are, where your clients finding out new services, where your clients getting their referrals from, what do they like to do that they maybe can come across your business. So in-person marketing, it really is very specific to that, but I highly suggest try in-person marketing in different ways if you have not, and if you're only doing something online. The other way is to reach out to your current clients. So this is another great way to save a business is, hey, if you already have a handful of clients, it could be like 5 clients, reach out to those clients. Like, how often are you reaching out to them? Are you marketing to them by email? Are you sending text messages on a regular basis to them? Like, how are you communicating with your current clients? So there's a couple different ways your current clients can help you. So number one, if you have a Google business page, which I highly suggest doing, have them review you on that page, because a lot of people are going to validate you and validate your business based on your Google reviews. So we all do it, right? Like I've definitely searched businesses and said, okay, what are people's reviews? So that's a good way to utilize your current clients. Just ask them to review you. You can put the link in that email or that text message, however you guys like to converse. And so it's easy. All they have to do is click on it. Boom, brings them right to your Google business page, and then they can just quickly put their review. The other thing is asking them for more referrals. So like say, hey, I really like our, time together. I love more clients like you. I'm looking for more clients like yourself. Give them compliments and explain to them why you're, asking this. And say, if you do come across anybody that's interested in my services, I would love it if you could share it. So those are a couple ways you can use your current clients, but also, we're looking at this as like, if you have a happy client, they're going to be more willing to share. So this is also a great opportunity to get feedback. So when you're reaching out to your clients, I definitely suggest at least once a year, if minimum, to get feedback from your clients. Say, how am I doing? Is there anything I can improve upon? What do you like? What do you not like? So forth, right? Because there is some things that you probably need to know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a reason people aren't booking with you, and it could be really obvious. And you aren't seeing it, right? So that's definitely something to think about, is feedback is always important. It's something that I suggest getting a couple times a year, if not more. And then last but not least, I do suggest, if you are going to be on social media, so social media for me is kind of like one of those ways where it's very similar to like Google, in a sense where you can have that third-party validation, or it's also a good way for your current clients to share your work with another person. So I don't necessarily think of social media as I'm grabbing my clients from that, but I look at that as a tool that I can use to possibly get that third-party validation. But one thing I see that's missing on a lot of people's pages or in their business, if they're thinking about closing, is they don't have an introduction video. So they don't have a video talking about, hey, I'm in front of the camera, look at me, this is my name, I'm inviting you into my business, this is what I'm an expert in, and this is what I want you to book with, something like that. So obviously it's not exactly those words, but essentially you want to invite people into your business, because people are going to book with you if they trust you, if they see who they're booking with, if they are referred by somebody who trusts you already. So those, you have to think about building that trust faster. So if you are using social media, there is really tactful ways to do it, but I find that there's not a lot of videos of themselves and talking to the camera. Like a lot of times it'll be like great videos of their services, of like a facial or waxing or whatever you do. There's even, good informational posts to your clients about how to take care of their stuff, aftercare and so forth. There's even like just really beautiful photos of before and afters. But the thing that's always missing is like, where are you? I don't even know who the service provider is. And then sometimes the same thing can be true on a website. So like if you do have a website that's separate than a booking site. So like for me, if they go to my website, it technically just brings them to my booking site, but my social media has my presence on it. So my pictures and videos are everywhere on there, so you know who you're booking with. So by the time you do click onto my website and booking, you already for sure know who it is. But if you don't have it like that and you have an actual website and then they go through your website and they have to click on a separate page to book, so you need to be on that website somewhere. So photos, videos, whatever you can do to say, hey, this is me. And, ideally that should also be your profile picture. So I think this has been talked about a little bit online recently too, but a lot of people are like, if you're a service provider, you should have your picture as your profile picture. So when people are looking at that little circle, they're looking at your face. They're not looking at your logo. Your logo is great and everything, don't get me wrong. And you can put that on your website and you can put it on your business cards and brochures and things like that. But when we're talking about social media presence, we're talking about building that trust much faster. So they need to know who they're booking with. But that's also why in-person marketing works really well too, you guys. So if you are thinking about closing your doors and you're frustrated and you're like, man, Heidi, I just can't get it. I just can't get clients in the door. I don't know what it is. Listen back to this or listen again, take notes, and I promise you will get some people in the door with these things that I have for you. So, all right. Well, thank you for listening and good luck. I hope you liked that episode and found something useful or a tip that you can use immediately. If you are wanting more marketing tips, business tips, or anything like that, I have a lot of resources on my website. So I have PDFs that you can download for free. So look in your show notes. There should be a link in the show notes that you can click on and it'll take you right to my coaching website. And thanks for listening.